Yo, boys and girls, it's Coach Paul finally back over here again. It's been a long time, man. For those of you wondering where I've been, I was actually in the UK for a little bit doing an international football tournament thing with my church. Basically, like 6 countries, we all formed a team together with our country. I was representing the USA, and we played some mini tournament. Unfortunately, we didn't get to win. England, of course, ended up taking the win, but it was still a good experience nonetheless. With that being said, today's session, we're going to keep it pretty simple. I just wanted to get some simple touches because the season has just begun again. So just 1-2 touch, got the wall here, got my setup. Probably end with some finishing, but just keep it nice and simple. Let's get to work. So as usual, I like to start every session with my quick 10-minute dynamic stretch and warm up, just going through different movements, and then I always end it with some short sprints just to get myself ready for the core activities. And before anyone asks, yes, I'm wearing 2 different types of boots. The reason being they don't make kangaroo leather boots anymore. That's all I've worn for the last 10 years. So I had to buy synthetics, but my right foot is a bit wider than my left. So I'm sticking with my old boot for my right and wearing my new boot for the left. So such is life, but yeah. Now I'm moving on to a little bit of agility work. Sometimes I like to do this before my session just because who doesn't want to get their feet faster, man? I'm a dribbler, so I need to have fast feet. But yeah, so I just do 2 sets of everything for this and then move on to the next thing. Pretty short, yeah. Now for the first activity of my core part of my training, you know me, I like to always start off with my 2-touch type of stuff. So I'm just doing a bunch of half turns. This time I'm doing in all directions because I just want to work on being able to turn in all directions with both of my feet. And the key here is I'm always focusing on making sure that I'm pushing my touch a little bit out in the direction that I want to make my next decision, which in this case is passing. So this next activity is actually a reactionary drill where basically I'm playing passes off the wall, and then on cue I have to take a directional touch in direction of the big cone and bring the ball back to the box. This time what I was using for a cue is basically when I notice anything significant like a car driving by or a loud sound, or maybe I saw something in my peripheral vision or whatever, that would be my cue to turn. But you can use anything. You can pre-record yourself, maybe saying turn and then play it back. You can use a song, I don't know, and then use a kick in the beat as the time that you have to turn. You can tell someone else to do it for you, but just anything that you have to react to and then execute. So this next activity is all about full turns in very, very tight space. Now what makes this difficult is that when you're playing the ball off the wall, it's coming back to you very, very quickly. And so the key is that you're trying to be able to adjust your body, open out fully with your turn so that you're opening up to the field and you can see what's happening. You'll notice that actually a lot of times I don't successfully do it, but I am just trying to keep reminding myself I need to fully open with that touch. It won't be perfect every time, but I'm still pushing and trying it. Now I'm just changing direction and switching foot. Oh, and one reminder, make sure you are checking your shoulder and scanning. It is such an easy thing to forget when you're training by yourself and you have no real opposition against you. But when you're training, you want to make it as game realistic as possible. So imagine that there's a whole game happening behind you. If you're not scanning, you don't know what's coming behind you, and especially now that we're doing these full turns, you need to know. Otherwise, you'll have one Sergio Ramos come in with a crunching tackle, and he's taking the ball and your legs. Now you're out for the season, and your team just conceded the goal, all because you didn't want to scan. So make sure you're checking your shoulder, and you're scanning, and you're scanning, and you're scanning. You can never scan too much. So, yeah. now we're finally into the main core part of my training, the dynamic finishing activity. I always like to get some dynamic activity in all my sessions where I'm combining a bunch of things together. This one is just working on the directional touch, a tiny bit of dribbling, and then a good directional touch to set myself up for a finish on goal. If you notice, I included the mistakes in here as well because I think it's important for you guys to see that even as you continue playing, you get better, you're still going to make mistakes. It doesn't matter which level you're playing at or what point in your football career. Mistakes is a normal thing. We're all human beings. So just forget about it, fix whatever you messed up, and then go again. See if you can do it better this time. So I can't lie, here I spent a good amount of time being frustrated at myself about how shambolic that shot was. So I just went ahead and cut out like the minute or so that I spent standing there just questioning my existence. But yeah, such is life, man. We move. Anyways, it's on to the final part of my session, which is just basically the cool down, and I'm just finishing it off with some 2-touch and 1-touch off the wall. Nothing crazy, but yeah, that's really it. Yep, and that's the end of the session. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the content and got something out of it that you can use in your own sessions. And I'll see you in the next video.